And what we discovered also, that Turkey developed an important, really incredible legal structure to continue the genocide of Armenians. And we call today, because it is a genocidal state, it is a genocidal legal system, it still continues. And without changing this confiscation process, without changing this legal structure, Turkey cannot be democratic. Because the entire Turkey sits today on these stolen properties and Armenian wealth, and there must be a change, and it can be only legal. And only you can change only the legal structure of the country to really rectify these historic wrongdoings, and this is the new book all about. Thank you. Generally, you can never bring back what was lost. And any compensation or reparation that you can imagine, at the end, whether it's material or not material, at the end, it has a symbolic character. There is a general rule. I can repeat only this general rule in case of Turkey and Armenia. We have to manage, we have to succeed something that Armenian people, at least in majority with their representation, Armenia, state of Armenia, and diaspora representative, should get the feeling, yes, I'm satisfied with it. This is the feeling that we have to create. And this should be in a process of dialogue, discussion, talking with Turkish people. Also, they should develop an understanding, yeah, this is now, we paid back at least, we corrected a wrong. You can compare Armenian case actually with America very well, with Native Americans. Today, the state of United States sits on the Native American properties. If you want to rectify the entire wrongdoing, you have to send the all white people to Europe, including the Armenians and me, myself. You can never do that. And in Armenian case, you are right, land issue is an issue of war. I wish Turkish government would say, okay, let's give Ararat, or let's give the Ani, at least symbolically, to Armenians. But personally, I wish the best solution is to make the boundaries meaningless between Turkey and Armenia, and with a package that the Armenian can see their Ararat as their own, and there are other ways of solving. I'm not going into detail. There are several ways to compensate the losses in genocidal process after genocide, but you can never fully compensate the losses. You have to keep in mind it is a moral element that we are talking about, and from a material perspective there are several ways. I tell you only one. Turkey can open the Trabzon port for Armenian export and import without any taxation. Free land. There are so many. In international arena we have really hundreds of these kind of solutions. Both societies should discuss and debate. As a scholar, I would love to discuss this topic and give other examples how this problem was solved in other countries, and we have to develop our own roadmap, and we have to make a list starting with naming the Armenian buildings and maybe Armenian historic sites in Anatolia with their names, or another simple example, to give automatic citizenship to all those who are in diaspora without any other consideration, whether they accept or not. This is of course their own decision, but to declare them a citizen of the Turkish state today. There are really plenty of ways to rectify this historic wrongdoing. The major problem is how we are going to get Turkish government to accept that something wrong happened in the past. This This is the main process in Turkey. When I first published my book 1991, I was alone, a single man. Now today in Istanbul, you will hear there are commemorations and meetings and 1 week long on Hrant Dink and his legacy. And maybe you have heard last April 24, there was a public commemoration in Taksim Square where 5,000 Turks, Kurds came together and commemorate Armenian genocide. Have you ever imagined that in Istanbul main square 5,000 people would come and commemorate? This year will be more. My contribution may be a small drop on this entire picture. Turkey is not the Turkey of 2007. Turkey is not the Turkey of 1991 when I published it. Open just an example. Habertürk, one of the most visited or watched Turkish main television channel. They asked me to come to Istanbul for a live 1-hour program. I said, I teach, I cannot come. Please inform us when you come, we would love to have a 1-hour program. So, turn on the TV now, you will see in every channel debates and discussions on the legacy of Hrant. I think there is another Turkey now. In politics, you have to have power. You have to have some leverages. Armenia as a state has no leverage. What could Armenia offer to Turkey to recognize the Armenian genocide? It's business. Morality is a rule of individuals. We have our moralities. Hrant Dink used to say, states, they don't have moral, they have interests. So, main problem is really Armenia as a small nation doesn't have enough leverage to pressure Turkey. And what are the mechanisms that we have to pressure Turkey? We have two main mechanisms, if you ask me. One is diaspora, and second is the domestic opposition in Turkey. Unfortunately, diaspora and the civil society in Turkey don't work together. This is the missing link. Diaspora, I think, came to a point where they used their own devices, because the only thing you could do here, pressure your own government so that your government should pressure Turkey. So it's a very indirect way. And mostly the governments, the United States government, Canadian government, or other big powers, they use this Armenian asking for recognition for their own political. Kurds are indeed very crucial in solving the Armenian question also. The acknowledgement of Armenian genocide. If you go to Kurdish region, they are more open. They acknowledge this wrongdoing. And I think with giving more right to Kurds, and when Kurds get more voices, they could make also their contribution in the recognition of Armenian genocide. Because there is a wide acceptance among Kurds compared to Western part among the Turks. And there are several reasons of it, you all know. Today, almost in every Kurdish family, there is an Armenian ancestor. Either grandma or grandfather, and Kurds are coming up and giving these openly. Rafik told me today that in Diyarbakir, after the restoration of the church, now the Kurds coming and really giving up, recognizing themselves and accepting their Armenian identity. This is an important development. On the other side, there are certain hesitance among Kurds also, because most of the killings occurred in Kurdish areas. And I heard when I was in Turkey a lot from Turkish friends, also from Kurdish friends, that people seriously in certain regions fear. And nationalists also really incite this fear, saying that, you know, if you recognize the Armenian genocide, and Armenians will come and take your houses back. They take their properties back. So this is another very interesting aspect, and I believe democratization of Turkey will contribute to the recognition of Armenian genocide. It is crucial, it is important. The more democracy will mean more facing history and acknowledging the